now to the search for a suspect has reached the 6-week mark in the deaths of 4 friends at the University of Idaho.
I can't believe it's already been 6 weeks and still not a suspect. Joining us now for more on the latest developments, FBI agent and former Navy SEAL Jonathan Gilliam. Welcome back to Wake Up America, Jonathan.
Good to be with you.
So another one of the victim's parents has spoken out. So has the ex-boyfriend of one of the victims, Maddie Mogan's father, saying he believes the killer made a mistake at the scene, which will lead to the arrest of the killer. What are you hearing?
Well, none of us have heard anything exclusive from the law enforcement. Technically, throughout this entire case, what we have heard are the opinions of the families. And I don't go on that too strong. They sometimes will know a little bit more than we do because they're close to the case, or somebody inside the investigation may give them a few clues here and there. But I think overall, what we actually see typically from the way this case is going, that the police have been pretty tight-lipped, and the families don't really have a good grasp on what the investigation is showing.
Yeah, the police really aren't saying too much, but we are seeing loved ones continue talking about how this has impacted their lives. It's been hard on one of the victim's ex-boyfriends, Jack. He says his whole life was upended in suspicion. Even though family members say he's not a suspect, he's received a lot of hate online. These people on social media that are speculating. How does this hinder investigations?
Well, if law enforcement is doing their job diligently, they're following the evidence. They're not like sitting in front of a computer like the majority of Americans, worried about what other people are saying. Other people can speculate all they want, but a good law enforcement officer that is diligently investigating a case will follow the evidence. So as the evidence is found, or as the evidence comes in, that's what they're concerned with. But I do believe where the problem with these sleuths where they actually come in and cause problems, is that they get fixated on something, and the media, and I do not remember seeing this to this extent before in our modern history. These sleuths they'll key in on something or somebody, and the media reports it as if law enforcement did say it. And so many of the things that get spread around are actually coming from online sleuths or from the family. There's no factual base. And so we don't understand clearly is who the law enforcement themselves speculate could have done this. What type of person? There's been many of individuals out there like myself. You know, I have a degree in psychology. I was an investigator for several different agencies, including FBI. I know how an attacker thinks from actually being an attacker as a SEAL. And so I can speculate and give my educated opinion. And there's several of us out there, but we don't know what actually the police think. And so I think it would be good for law enforcement to eventually, as quickly as they can, have a real press conference, not a press conference that's in a parking lot, you know, where somebody's cornered or right up next to a wall while one reporter has a mic stuck to his face. They need a podium. They need to get the people up there. They need to get organized, and they need to tell the people, we think this is the profile for the person that we believe did this crime. We have not seen any of that yet. And I do believe that this Moscow Police Department, the FBI and the state police, they would have enough to at least start to dive into that conversation and take control of that narrative away from these online sleuths and away from the media that's reporting whatever salacious.
And the Moscow Police Department, they're getting a lot of criticism. They're saying, you know what, just give it over to the federal authorities. What do you think, Jonathan? And to your point where you were talking about all that misinformation, a University of Idaho professor, he filed a federal lawsuit. He accused a TikToker of defamation for alleging that this professor ordered the unsolved killings of the 4 students. The videos were posted on November and have been viewed more than 1 million times. You know, again, all this misinformation. But I do think, I mean, the Moscow Police Department seems to be in over its head at this point.
Well, it seems like that. And the reason it seems like that is because they're not giving out any information, not giving any press conferences at all. And from the very beginning, I understand how these things work. So I can't falter the Moscow Police Department for the pace of the investigation. The pace is set by the evidence. So I can't fault them, but I can fault them on the way that they interact with the public. And a lot of this has to do with the fact that they just have not had to do this before. So I think that is what they can clean up. That's what they can do to kind of reassure the people and give them something themselves, because it seems like there's a lot of people who want to take part in trying to find this individual. So I think they can think that and rework that and then use that to kind of guide this investigation, because what is occurring is that social media is just exploding when somebody comes up with something, and then you have another news network or these two news networks that put it out as fact when there's no known fact. I mean, we've continuously seen this with the Gonçalves family, where they say something and then it turns out it didn't really come from the police. It's being reported by 3 different news agencies that it's fact when we don't know that it is.
I just hope that they are able to catch this killer, even with everything that's been going on. I just hope this does not become a cold case. But Jonathan Gilliam, thank you so much for